Hi, this is Lucy and welcome to my channel. This month, Uniquely Creative have got a new kit out called Tapestry of Time, and I used that to create this card as part of my design team cards. And I thought I'd show, as it's quite easy to make that square background. This time I'm using the Outback Divine kit, also by Uniquely Creative, and I'm just going to be using up some scraps, but this time I'm going to be using a larger square card, a 15 centimeter 6 inch, and the other one was a 13.5 centimeter card. The original card that I did was a lot easier because it ended up being a 12 by 12 square, so I could do these strips in 2 centimeters each, whereas this one, it works out to be 13.5 centimeters square, and so it worked out to be about 2.25 centimeters each, and I don't measure very well really, so I just tried my best when it's not the exact measurements on the cutting board, and it didn't quite work out exact. But what I've done here is I've got down a scrap piece of paper and I've put some double-sided tape. You can use glue or any sort of adhesive that you have, and I've just put them all down straight, and I do have some hanging over and it doesn't quite fit, so I'm going to have to cut that off and figure that out as I go along, but it all works out and it's fine. So I'm not quite sure why the one that is the smaller one, and why I have a smaller one, is in the middle there. But anyway, I'm using another piece of scrap paper. This scrap paper is 13.5 by 13.5. Both of them are. So I turned the strips on their side and then cut them. So now they look like they're little squares. So I've got adhesive again, and this time I'm going to pop them down, but I'm going to make sure that they're not all in the same order, so that all of the squares don't match up to any sitting next to them. It doesn't matter if you have one or two anyway, but if you use 6 different strips, you're bound to be able to make it so that you don't have any sitting next to each other. So all I do here is just make sure that, because that grey isn't a square, they would end up not looking like squares at the end if I put them anywhere in the middle. So they're not, and I end up cutting up a few more little squares just to add in there, because I'd cut off that grey little squares or the line. So in hindsight, I should have just kept it and not sliced it off so that I could use them as squares still on there. So anyway, it all worked out in the end. I just cut off all the overhanging parts, and then I can pop it onto the front of the card. I have got a little distressing tool here, so I've just gone around the sides with that just to give it a little texture, but you could also ink around it, anything to make it look like it was always that way. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more height without using foam tape. I'm just using some leftover scrap paper, and then I'll pop that on. And now it's a matter of finding some embellishments to go on it. So I have a big bag full of embellishments here that I've either fussy cut in the past, or Uniquely Creative have creative cuts already, and also some vellum cuts as well. So it's just a matter of going around. I liked this big cluster, but I didn't really want the emu on it. Not everybody loves emus, so I decided to cover him up, and then no one will know he's even hiding under there. I'm thinking of making this a Mother's Day card, so yeah, I thought the nice florals, and it brings out, the pinks look really nice on here. So I'm just going to add these with foam tape and see what I think, but I do change the flower arrangement. I try a little bit of the vellum, but I feel like it's a bit too much. I really want those squares to be seen as well. So this sentiment is one that I did through my laminator and some pink foil, and I do have a video on that if you haven't seen it already. It's quite an easy way to add foiling to a card. So yeah, I'm just adding some foam tape to the cluster as well to make it stand out against the background because it's busy. And so I've just changed these flower arrangements around, and I like this better. I do use a lot of glue. I do find that it sticks forever, this glue, this Aquadare from Sally's that you can get in Bunnings. So yeah, I do like to use that and make sure that my cards stay intact forever. So I'm just adding a little bit of lace and just having a little look what else. I did have to place the sentiment down a little further than I would have liked because it was a little bigger. So now I'm just trying to find something that's going to sort of hide where it's just straight down. So I found a little flower, which is exactly what I was looking for, and I was hoping I had one of those left. So decided to do a third little flower as well, just because things are supposed to look better in threes. And I'm also adding some gold pearls to finish off the card, and I think this is quite a cute little card in the end. What do you think? Thank you to all my subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed already, hopefully you will. I'll have plenty more videos to come in the future. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.